Okay, so at the time I wasn't able to watch the Alicia Baumgardner and Mikaela Mayer fight live, but I was able to catch the last sort of few rounds. And from what I was seeing on Twitter and other social media, it seemed like it was a pretty close fight. But some people had Mayer, and then I saw there was also a section that a lot of them had Baumgardner, so I wasn't really sure who scored it. But one thing I was hearing is about how poor the commentators were in the fight. But after some reflection, I've been able to watch the whole fight all the way through. And me personally, so in the fight, the result was that Alicia Baumgardner did beat Mikaela Mayer. The scorecards read as followed: 96 to 95 to Baumgardner, 97-93 to Mayer, and 96 to 95 to Baumgardner. So very very close scorecards. The Mayer one I felt was a bit wide, but it was still, I think, fairly close. And watching the fight back, so I had the fight. I got it here. I scored the fight 96 to 94 to Baumgardner. A very very close fight, but what I'm hearing from a lot of people is how they felt this was a robbery and how it was so that Mayer was robbed and Baumgartner shouldn't have won and all this kind of stuff. And it was kind of hilarious to me, but I'll get into it. So I didn't do a preview for this fight. I was going to, but you ran out of time. So I just sort of figured, I'll cover the fight afterwards. I personally, and I know it's going to sound easy, I never put it out there, but I did think Baumgartner would win the fight via decision. And reason being, I felt that was just way too explosive for me. In terms of Baumgartner, what I think, she's probably my favourite female fighter to watch, to be honest with you, because there's an explosiveness and she has that fast twitch fibre, and she's quite exciting. She reminds me a little bit, and it's a bit of a weird comparison, but she reminds me a little bit of a female Errol Spence. She just sort of switch, so she can go southpaw, but mainly she goes to, she fights out the traditional stance, but she goes to the body, she goes to the head, she's powerful and very quick, and it's not something you see a lot with, genetically, naturally, female fighters aren't going to be as quick or as powerful as male fighters, but there are some exceptions to this, and Baumgartner is the exception. She does have very fast twitch fibers. She's very, very quick, very explosive, and very powerful, hence the name The Bomb. And in the fight, I felt like she would just be too quick for me. May is good, but she's very long. She doesn't really boxing with very fast combinations. She's not really that great on her feet. I just felt that Baumgartner would just be a bit too quick for me. Now, at the start of the fight, I think Baumgartner won the first three, and then after that, I had Mayer winning the three. And I think the reason for it, I think Baumgartner kind of got a little bit carried away. I think she was after a certain point. I think the corner really gave it to her and showed her, she was doing good, but she was kind of running away, I think, with the first two. But I think after that, she kind of got a bit complacent, a bit sloppy, and because of that, Mayer was able to sort of come back into the fight. But as the fight went on, Mayer, like I said, she crept back into it, but Baumgartner was still landing some shots, and I had it after 6. I had it 3-3. Then I had Mayer winning the 8th, Baumgartner then winning the last two, 9 and 10, which obviously gave it 96-94, and a very close fight, like I said. But what I want to talk about here, first of all, it's a brilliant performance from both these girls. I thought Mayer did really well, and I think Mayer really showed a lot of heart. But to me, you can't get hit as much as Mayer did, though, and complain that you didn't win the fight. It was close, like I said. It wasn't particularly a one-sided schooling. It wasn't like... Again, the word robbery gets thrown around a lot, and I think when you talk about robbery, what comes to mind, one of my videos, I don't ever rant on this channel, but one of my videos that I did where I was annoyed was the Jack Catterall-Josh Taylor fight, because to me, that genuinely was a robbery. I think Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev one was a robbery. I know it's a past topic, but to me, I thought Kovalev clearly won it. Not a complete whitewash, but I thought he did enough to have a sizable lead, and they gave it to Ward. I thought Golovkin clearly beat Canelo this first time round. These are all robberies. This is a close fight, cannot be a robbery. It doesn't make sense. How can a close fight, if it's a fight that's like how I had it, 96-94 by 2 rounds, I gave it to Baumgardner. It wasn't at all a whitewash. And again, if Mayer won, I don't think I would have complained. Again, it was very, very close in there. But what I want to do, look at the copy box numbers first of all, and I want to talk about these, because to those who thought it was a complete whitewash from Mayer, I want to say, so first of all, in terms of total punches from Baumgardner threw 27 punches and landed 7 of them. 26% pretty much of accuracy. Mayer threw 22 punches and landed 3 of them. Right. Then going to 2. So 13.6% she landed. 5 out of 25 of Mayer's shots landed in round 2. 11 out of 30 landed for Baumgardner in 2. In 3, it was 10 out of 36 for Mayer and 13 out of 37 for Baumgardner. And then, as it came up, and this is where I say the fight went in more in Mayer's favour, she landed more. She started landing 16 out of 44, whereas Baumgardner landed 7 out of 32. Then it was 14 to 39. Both landed 14 punches. And Baumgardner obviously threw a little bit more, but wasn't able to land. It was 14 out of 41. And then we get into round 6, which, like I said, I did 3-3. At this time, we're 3-2. But 12 out of 43 landed for Mayer and 8 out of 34 from Baumgardner. So at that point, I think it was even the fight. Then you get into round 7. And at this point, according to the Sky commentators of Matthew McLean, Adam Smith, and Natasha Jonas, it was a complete. Apparently, Mayer was in the lead by quite a sizable distance. And according to Matthew McLean, especially Matthew McLean. And then in round 7, 12 out of 43 landed for Mayer, 16 out of 38 for Baumgardner, 42.1% landed for Baumgardner, and pretty much 28% for Mayer. Then you got into the 8th round, 9 out of 25 for Baumgardner, 7 out of 26 for Mayer. And then the 9th round, I'll be honest, was the hardest round, I think, to score the fight. It was nothing much in it, but 13 out of 46 landed for Mayer, 12 out of 36 landed for Baumgardner. So she had a better percentage, 33.3% for Baumgardner, 28.3% for Mayer. And then the last round, 19 out of 35 landed for Baumgardner, 12 out of 37 landed for Mayer. So CompuBox shows that Baumgardner landed more over the course of the fight, but yet obviously it's a robbery. So then we go to in terms of like the whole fight, Mayer was doing really well with her jab. She was keeping it at range, was able to land a lot of like I said, in the rounds where Baumgardner I felt was switching off a bit, Mayer was able to constantly land the jab, and she's long Mayer, so naturally she was going to land it. And Baumgardner was doing good when Mayer was coming in, landing the body shots and the combinations, but again, just wasn't. I think I don't know what it was. Maybe because they all work with with Mayer. Maybe that's why Adam Smith and all them were really thinking that Mayer was dominating the fight. Because I really do not know how. I just don't know how you look at this fight. I think it's a robbery. It is the whole thing about a robbery is when it goes one way and it doesn't. When the fight's going one way and it goes, the whole fight ends up. The scorecards go in a complete different direction. That wasn't what happened. It was a close fight, and Mayer, to me, didn't do enough. In terms of, you look at the total shot punches and that, 116 out of the body shots landed for Baumgardner, 104 for Mayer. Jabs, as I expected, 61 for Mayer, 34 for Baumgardner. And in terms of the power punches, again, body landed, 43 for Mayer and 82 to Baumgardner. She statistically landed more on Mayer, and with Mayer, she did land more power punches in round 8 than any of what Baumgardner's opponents did, as it says on the CopyBox site. But again, on Box and CD, even not CopyBox. And again, a close fight. And to me, I just think that this wasn't a robbery. I don't see where the robbery comes into it. It is a close fight, can't be a robbery. It just doesn't work like that. I go back to MMA here and go to the Max Holloway Alexander Volkanovski fight. To me, MMA is a bit more difficult because there's a lot more parameters that, you got takedowns, you got octagon control, different aspects, pressure that's at play in MMA. Boxing, to me, it's a bit more simpler, but obviously because of certain politics, it's never that way. But again, I wouldn't complain if Mayer won the fight, but when you say it's a robbery, that's where I just disagree. I think Baumgardner was a lot more active in the first, 3 rounds. Mayer came back into it, but then Baumgardner was pushing it, looking for the shots. And like I said, you can't complain about if you lose when you're constantly getting hit. Mayer's, out of the two of them, I'm not that this is what matters, but who looks more physically damaged at the end of the fight? I'd say Mayer. This fight was not a robbery. It was a close fight that went to Baumgardner. That is it. And I just wanted to get out because I just don't understand how anybody can call this a robbery. It is never a robbery. You might think one fight won fair, but a robbery isn't a close fight that just goes to someone who you didn't think win. It's a robbery is when it's a clearly going in one fight's direction, i.e. Jack Catterall was dominating Josh Taylor, knocked him down, and yet they gave it to Josh Taylor. Even a draw in this fight would have been fair, because at 10 rounds, you could easily have a 5-5 round. Honestly, like I said, I think up until, after round 8, I think I had it all level 4-4 in 76, and then obviously, once we got to round 9 and 10, I gave it to Mayer. To Baumgardner even. But yeah, to me, it's not a robbery. Stop talking rubbish. It's a very, very good fight though, and it was very entertaining to watch. And they need to make these women's fights longer and have the rounds longer. To be honest, I don't understand why it's such a big or shorter distance. To be honest, it's obviously I think it's 2-minute rounds and 10 rounds obviously in this one, but you can go longer. I don't think it makes much of a difference, to be honest with you. And it's not like, I might be wrong. Women's football is 90 minutes, the same as men's football, so I don't really see why the issue is. But a brilliant fight. I enjoyed this fight, to be honest, more than I actually enjoyed the main event, as much as the main event was entertaining with Shields and Marshall. That's one. For Baumgardner, a very good win for her. I would like to see a rematch, but if not, again, like I said, everybody is now on this whole thing of, Baumgardner got the robbery decision, now she's not going to fight her again. Baumgardner, out of the two of them, Baumgardner to me looked the closest to stopping her. They never, not one of them ever looked hurt, but if you're going to bank on one person, if they fought again, I still bank on Baumgardner. I think she's just too quick and too explosive for Mayer. I think, again, the fast twitch fiber, she's just too much, I think. I think Mayer's just too stiff to handle Baumgardner. I think Baumgardner's, I think, is a very, very entertaining fight to watch, and very, again, plays up to the walkout. She comes in dancing in the ring, looks very confident. I think she's, again, I think there's a lot of good female fighters out there, like Katie Taylor's good, Amanda Serrano, Cross Chill, Savannah, all these. But I think, I don't know, for me, Baumgardner just is a bit different. She's a very explosive, like I said, very quick, and I think she doesn't look slow in there. She looks quick. Everything she throws is fast and sharp, and to me, as a fight fan, I prefer watching those type of fights. Like I said, everybody knows like my favourite fighter is Errol Spence, or what I've made on this channel. And to me, she's like a female version of Errol Spence. The way she fights, the way she goes to the body, head, it's all like a, it's all very, I don't know what the word would be, but she almost fights in a very good rhythm, and it's always, she never throws with like slap boxes, she throws with full power and her jab. And she moves around the ring as well. I think there's a fight, but I think there's a lot to like about her. I think she's very, very exciting to watch. And it's interesting to see what she does next, because again, as we're on this robbery tip, she came out and said that she wants Undisputed and she wants to fight Hun Min Chao. Personally, and this is what makes me laugh, everybody wants Undisputed fights, but as soon as one fighter mentions it, or just because, people thought Mayer won, now they don't want it. People can't make their mind up in this sport, I swear to God. But I love to see that fight. I also love to see Amanda Serrano fight. I think you can get Amanda Serrano up to 130 easily, and that would be an entertaining fight. Maybe her going up against Katie Taylor, maybe Baumgardner, or when she gets all the belts, maybe fight Mayer again. I don't know. There's so many things that could happen, but yeah, very entertaining fight though. I think they both fought very well. For Mayer, I wouldn't be disheartened. Again, it was a very close fight, and she's still very much an active player in this division of 130 pounds, and obviously Baumgardner has 3 of the belts now. She just needs the WBA belt. But yeah, very entertaining fight though, and I think a well-deserved win for Baumgardner. Very, very close. I think out of the two, she threw the more power punches. She was the more active in the later rounds. She was doing good on the inside. I think once it was at Mayer's range, I think that's when she got a bit complacent. But once she started to close the distance and with the jab and go to the body and mix up with the combinations and go, again, she would go to the head and body. I think the left hook to the body is really good, and the left uppercut. I remember she was landing quite a few times in the round. So yeah, good performance from Baumgardner and from Mayer. A great fight. And yeah, just my reaction now to the fight. Like I said, I think it's the most entertaining fight. I think on the whole card, I preferred it to the main event. Two ladies who went in there, they gave it all, and like I said, not a robbery though. Baumgardner won this fight, and people are gonna have to live with it. That word robbery gets thrown around way too much nowadays in boxing, in fight, in sports in general. Yeah, wasn't a robbery. Baumgardner, the clear winner, and yeah, until next time.